there may be hope coming for the Prismatic Evolution situation in the near future. We have this post coming from Reddit, username Slowbike4757. And this is talking about the Super Premium Collection from Prismatic Evolutions. We just talked about this recently. It's going to have 15 packs. And he's saying a lot more are being made, let's just say. So, according to the comments, he doesn't work in the factory, but he knows somebody who works in the factory. And if we blow this up a little bit, you can see how many boxes are here. And there's pallets and pallets and pallets. Now, this user posted another story a while back about essentially these empty boxes that had yet to be folded. So this is coming May 16th. And as of this recording, it is February 6th. So possibly the Pokemon Company is actually backing up what they said with they're going to print more. Because we're months out from the release of this product. You know, May 16th is a long ways away. And if we do zoom in down here, you can see it says Super Premium Box. You can kind of see what it is. And it looks like the shiny stuff. You can see Prismatic Evolutions on here. So, 15 packs, a rubber playmat, the Food EV promo. I did the math for you guys if you want to just know what's going on here. And I know, scalpers and bots and everything, we're going to have to fight them. But if there's enough product coming out, if they actually print enough, which I'm not sure if they can, but it gets me, a little bit more optimistic, a little bit more excited. That if there's not enough money to be made from the scalping and the bots and everything, then hopefully we'll be able to get product at a decent price. But if you want to figure out how many packs are here, I did the math for you. It's 4,860 packs on this pallet when you do the math. And you can see, obviously, in the background as well, pallets, right? So there's a lot of this being printed. And if you want to take him for his word, he says a lot are being made, let's just say. So a little bit of insider information coming from Slowbike. And this was the post he made 23 days ago. 23 days ago, he posted, you can see this is the inside of the boxes. You can see them here. Same thing, right? Pallets and pallets of boxes. Look at all these coming up right here. Waiting to be put together and the packs put inside. Now, this would be a little bit more math if you want to figure out how many boxes these are. Because these are laid flat and there's a lot here. So, once again, there's millions of people that collect Pokemon cards. There's millions of people that are going to want this set. So I understand that. But it is nice to see that potentially, the Pokemon Company is actually going to back up what they have said. So there is some hope on the horizon. So I did want to give some props to Slowbike for posting 23 days ago and this one recently. We'll see. Only time will tell how available these actually will be. If they can actually meet the demand. But, a 15 pack super premium box, and tons, he says in his post, and tons are on the way. So we'll see if we'll have to wait and see on that. But in other market news, so we got a little Prismatic and then we're going to do a little market update. We're about to hit an interesting price point, and we kind of already have on TCG Player, for 151 Pokemon Center ETBs. You can see the listed median price is around $450. There's 50 currently listed on TCG Player. And you can see the last solds before were pretty much in the 350s, upper, 370, 360 range. Last solds have been 395, 398, and 400 on that. And, lowest listed from a starred seller, 400. 400. So looks like 151 PC ETBs are, current market is at 368. If these sales continue on this product, we would see a $400 PC ETB. Now, when you look at where Prismatic's at, Prismatic's come up a little. It's like 260, maybe 270. I've used the comparison of where can it go? We'll compare it to 151. It can most likely match or exceed, maybe even if it goes under. I feel like it can match the 151 PC ETB, just give it enough time. Eevee being, I think Eevee's a more popular Pokemon than Snorlax, but maybe 151, I mean, the strength of that set can't really be denied. So if you want to play the comparison game, you can talk, 151 to Prismatic for the PC ETB. So this is the current ceiling of PC ETBs on the market is 151. And just from a year ago, $92, just slow climb, big growth, cooled off for a second, and yeah, now we're at 400. We're at 400 a PC ETB. That's, back here, that's a wild concept to think about. February of last year, nobody would have predicted that. We're also seeing some more big moves from the Charizard, the special illustration rare number 199 from 151, continuing its absolutely ruthless climb. When you start to see some of the other cards of the era, like the Bubble Mew being like 400 now, the Greninja being, you wonder, like, are we going to get can this Charizard make that climb? Pull rate's much easier from 151, but demand being extremely high. It's up 34% in the past 3 months, right? Went to 200, came back down off of 200, back up to 220, cooled off to 200, up to 230, cooled off for a second, and now we're seeing 250. $250 for the Charizard SIR. Lowest listed from starred sellers is reflecting that, maybe a little bit higher, 255, right? So that lines up with the current market price. Last solds on this guy are, we're even seeing a few higher, a lot in the 250s, but you got a 285 recently and a 280 down here. So we'll see if this one continues to climb as well. The Charizard, the Sunzard. 1 year chart, obviously looking pretty crazy as well. It is, once again, in hindsight's always 2020. It is wild to think that this was a $100 card, in April of last year. 129% growth on the year. PSA 10 prices, we have seen come down just a little, kind of holding around 1,000. We did see for a while these were shooting above this price, but last sold's 1,000. Then you got a few at 980, 920, 930, and then 1,000, 960, 970, 900, 960. So it looks like these might have came up a little bit recently from the 9. See if these are now the new floor for the PSA 10 prices. These were both sold yesterday. Haven't seen a sale as of this morning. So 151 doing well. Not a big surprise there. Then I wanted to talk about another product from Shrouded Fable. It's, arguably this Greninja promo in here. One of the best promos of the era for sure. It's a really nice card. And the card was shooting up, and it makes sense that the box is going to shoot up. Now, it has come down a little bit. You can see actually the most sales right here on the uptick. 3 months ago, this was a $38 box on TCG Player. It did shoot up to as high as, looks like, 81. And it's come back down into the 70s. Most recent sale being 70. Before that, mid 70s and a few in the 80s. On the Greninja EX box. Definitely a really nice product from the Shrouded Fable line. The promo is really nice, and the Kingdra as well. You can see lowest listed from a starred seller is 75, which is right at market price. Let's see, if we zoom out here, pre-release pricing on this product was around 60, and it came down as low as $28 was the low on this guy. So the 6-month chart shows 156% growth. The Kingdra box still looks like it's kind of maybe on its way up. They don't have the promo pictured here, but the Kingdra card is a really nice card as well. 107%. What was this was at 156. So yeah, 107% on the Kingdra from $27 up to around 56, 58. Lowest list from a starred seller, 61. So might be coming up just a little bit on the Kingdra box. Nice to see. I like the Kingdra promo a lot too, but more affordable than compared to the Greninja. Then we need to talk about, to end the video off, a few big cards and kind of a lesser surprising card. But the Rayquaza, we're seeing the Rayquaza from Evolving Skies continuing to chug. It looks like it might be leveling off just a little bit for the moment, but 47% growth in the past 3 months. This card in and of itself, if this, this didn't even need to be in Evolving Skies, this could have carried its own set for how popular the Pokemon is and how good of a card this is. But 47% growth, from 400 up to about 700 current market price, hitting the $700 mark, and low quantity available is why I'm bringing this up. Only 13 available on TCG as of now, with the lowest listed in an English copy. You see, this is a CGC 10 Korean. English, 870, lowest listed, which would bump this up over this market price of 700 significantly. And then after that, I mean, you go a few more sales. Once again, probably some more people will come and list, so might not get here, but it's a few sales till $1,000 potentially on the Rayquaza, and you can see down here, the Giratina from Lost Origin at 660, which this card's above that. So the second highest card from Evolving Skies is above the Giratina. Once again, this could be its own chase card, but in the last month, we're seeing 28% growth just in the past month alone. The 1 year chart, 178% growth. It had its big run up. It was in the 250s for a long time. Alt Art Boom pushed it to 540. Came back down to 380, set a higher low. And bull market has obviously extremely helped this card continuing to run. So yeah, we'll see where these sales end up. It could start to get crazier. I did want to talk about this. So last thing on this card. Well, I'm talking about the quantity. 13 available. 27 sold in the last month. So we got about, if no new sellers come onto the market with a new Rayquaza, then this would take about half a month at this rate. Although you can see the most sales. January 22nd had 7 sales at 611. So it's pretty sporadic. You go a few days without a sale on TCG Player, but yeah, somebody bought up 7 here, which would be a big. If somebody bought 7 right now, that would bring the quantity down quite a bit. We're also seeing a very similar from the Sylveon. You can see the if you go to the 3 month here, kind of at a little bit of a leveling off point, and low quantity available on the Sylveon as well. 18 copies. Now this one's hitting about to hit $400 on the last solds. There is one as high as almost $500. There's a few down here. Right here, before that, a 380, 4s, as low as 350, but before that, very close to 500, high 4s, and the 490s, right? If we look to the lowest listed here, and that's where, from starred sellers, once again, caveat, not that these sellers can't ship you nice cards, but, 0% feedback, 52 sales, probably want to avoid that guy. Just based off of feedback, so that's why I just go with the starred sellers, right? You're gonna be a little safer. But lowest listed from the starred sellers is 500, and then after that it jumps up to. We'll go to page 2. You do have somebody listing at 1,000. Once again, that is just a listed. That's not a sold thing. So somebody's betting that card is going to continue to run the Sylveon. But yeah, interesting there. 1 year chart looking similar as well. Although this card was a lot more affordable, being only 130. Ran up to 270, came back down to 190, and now we're on a rocket ship going to the moon for the Sylveon VMAX. The Leafeon, very similar looking chart as well, plateauing a little bit right here, cracking over $400 finally. This was in the 260s 3 months ago. A few more copies of this one available on the market. 20 copies, 58% growth. Lowest listed from a starred seller. I just said just cracked 400, but starred sellers, we're getting close to 500 here, right? 490, 593. And then after that, there's more starred sellers at 500 and 700. So we'll see where this one ends up as well. I do like the Leafeon. I think between the two, I'm leaning Sylveon. Between the two, I like the Sylveon a little bit more, but the Leafeon's nice. I like him rolling these. If you've ever, driven through the countryside and seen these giant rolls of hay that they make, these things are huge. So this is cool. I like the scale of the Leafeon. It's a fun card, but similar charts on all of these cards, right? It's Evolving Skies, so they're kind of they're following the Moonbreon, doing their thing. 160 to 350, set a higher low at 260, and now we're at 400, possibly nearing 500 if sales continue to move. And then last thing is a little bit shorter video today. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm a little bit under the weather. My wife's been sick for the past 3 days. The fever, the coughing, soreness, all that fun stuff. But I wanted to talk about the Dash Bun from Stellar. 52% growth. Look at this. Obviously, call it a buyout, call it whatever you want. Looks like a buyout at this point. 107 copies being sold. Let's see if we can check out a single date. January 31st, 82 items sold, right? Whether intentional or not, whether somebody thought it was undervalued, whether it was manipulation, this shot the price up just in the last month, up 76%. Now, I have been vocal saying that I like this card a lot. I think this is a super adorable card, and I like the ability is named Time to Chow Down with the dash bundling with all the food. Not my most favorite Pokemon by any means. This is a nice card. Anyways, it's not about how I feel about it, though. It's about the market. And from 26 up into the 40s, currently being reflected from starred sellers around 41, 42, lowest listed. So people are expecting that new price. We'll see if people start undercutting. A lot of the times when you see these big jumps, people will come in and they'll go, oh, well, shoot, I got a bunch of those cards. Or a few, and they undercut. And the price will come back down. So that's something to think about, right? But 76% growth. We'll see where this compares to, pre-release pricing. The high was 33, and as low as 23 was the low since Stellar Crown has been released. So I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit to touch on the dash button at the end. So just to summarize, we have some hope. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys agree? Is there hope for Prismatic? Is it all lost? Are you just so beaten down by this market that nothing can give you hope? I would understand if you feel that way. I'm trying to remain optimistic. It does seem like there's going to be a lot of boxes. It depends how they're released as well. If they drip feed them out instead of like mass. I don't know. It's an interesting situation. So hopefully the Pokemon Company can actually do what they've talked about doing and print enough demand, because what it's going to do, if they can print enough, it's going to make the collectors happy. It's going to make the kids happy, and the investors. Once again, if you're an actual investor, like long term, it doesn't matter if it's cheap right now. Like you can get product for investing. You can load up. You can sit on it long term, and you're talking years down the road. It's going to be worth what you want it to be worth for the most part, right? Give or take. But that's what's healthy for the current market, is printing to demand. So we'll see if that's able to be possible. Obviously, 151 moving. The Evolving Skies is honestly crazy. It's like where is the ceiling on some of this stuff with the Rayquaza and everything? Just it's a wild time. But I'm here for it. And I'm here for you guys every day. We're going to be posting Pokemon collecting and investing content. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. I'm going to go take a nap because I'm not feeling good. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'll probably be here tomorrow, even if I'm sick, because I'm dedicated for you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.